Welcome to the 55th edition of the Southampton International Boat Show 2024. It's a lovely summer's day and it's going to be sunny for the whole week. So come down, have a look at some of the fantastic new boats that you can see this year. $10 in the morning.
Bit of breakfast rum.
Bit of breakfast rum.
Oh, yeah, it's all the way from Poole, so it's local. There's 4 different series in here: ginger, cacao and raw Dorset honey. Lightly spiced, not too sweet. And it is 40%, so it's quite a warmer, but it's really smooth. Amazing in a hot chocolate. Dark and stormy. So it's a blend of Barbados and South American rum. And then we add the botanicals in Poole.
One of the things I've noticed so far this year, there's a lot more chandlers and boat bits available. That's really good because last year there were very, very few. Choice is everything and people need something to buy and take away with them. If they can't afford that Princess for £4.5 million, they can buy something from the chandlery, and that's a really positive step. Absolutely beautiful Carvel 14-foot Reaver, restored by the Boat Building Academy at Lyme, Regis, and behind a 20-foot typical Loo traditional clinker-built diesel launch. Absolutely stunningly beautiful, both of them. Here's a surprise, Poppet's back. The little boat that was going to cross the Atlantic obviously hasn't started its journey yet, but we're going to find out a little bit more about Sofa to Sailboat again. We talked about them last year. Let's catch up with them and find out exactly how far they've got in their plans moving forward.
So a lot's happened since last year. We've got a lot more shiny things on the boat. We've got a new mast. We've got rigging. It's not on the boat at the moment. We've got hydrovane. We're still looking for an outboard motor, but we're really, really committed, and we're setting off to Antigua this December.
December? Definitely December.
Definitely December.
Oh, thank you. Look, listen, last year you absolutely breezed my YouTube channel. You know,
thank you.
The high point on the SIBS review last year was Sofa to Sailboat. So,
fantastic.
So both of you, good luck. Another one of our local companies, Jekyll's, based up in Wroxham and also in Alton Broad, sailmakers and bits and bobsy sellers. Just great to see them still at the show. We don't see too many of our local manufacturers and dealers here anymore, so great to see Jekyll's here. All around the show this year are these charity painted lighthouses. They're being auctioned and you can have one if you want one by just bidding online. There are absolutely loads of them. Not quite sure where you're going to put them. On the front of your boat maybe? In the garden? Really not sure, but they look fantastic and they really brighten up the dining hall where we are right now. By far the biggest stand at the show this year, as always, is Sunseeker, with some fantastic new boats, as well as a few like the Manhattan that have been around for a while. Let's go and have a look at what Sunseeker have to offer. So this was the new boat in 2023, and it's a somewhat different version of a classic. The Superhawk was always a much thinner boat, smaller boat, but I really like some of the innovation on here. These chair backs are just woven onto metal. They're really comfortable. This could be my new boat. What do you think? I could be sitting here just enjoying myself in the sun. Wow, this is just lovely. And I particularly like the way the sun lounger just comes back here. You can just lift it up and change the angle. And these are basically just velcroed on, so you can take these off in the winter as well. So a good flexibility there. And the amount of natural light that you're getting in through the ceiling top here, this is a real innovation. What a comfortable sofa. One of the things that I really like about this is I'm 6'3", and that's like 8 foot tall. Huge amount of room. Let's have a look in the aft cabin. Again, it's a step down cabin. Full standing headroom in the back here with the AV equipment on the wall. I can stand up full length, and I guess that's a shelf, but it could be a sock sofa. Yep, I've nicked that word from someone. But what a finish. I really like the finish in here. This is just superb. This cupboard hides the fridge. Wow, look at that. As you see, the Sunseeker cutlery hidden in there. I should imagine that's a soft closed drawer. It is. Closes really well. More storage. And a combination oven down the bottom there. All electric, so I would imagine it's spec'd for a generator. Looking at the plug out, this is for a probably med customer. Natural light. This boat has more window space than practically anything else in its class. It's a really spectacular boat. It really is spectacular. Let's go back to the helm. And I like that zip top there, so you can get instant fresh air without having to open the T-top right up, which I think can be spec'd. Looking at this one, doesn't have one, it's got a fixed T-top, but I should imagine this is also specable with an opening sun port there. The doors are huge and give you really easy access straight out onto that deck. What a stunning boat. Absolutely spectacular. This is the 88 yacht. Onto Princess and some of the larger Princesses. So this is the V50 from Princess. Nice wide decks again to get in. Fantastic boat, and a similar size to the Sunseeker that we saw earlier. The side decks are also wide, but not quite as wide as we saw on the Superhawk, but still wide enough. And this is set out more for the UK kind of climate, where you've got the outdoor seating area at the back here and a patio door going into a more conventional inner section with a sliding roof. Absolutely beautiful. The new finishings, I really like these fabrics and the way that the tables are finished more with a kind of a matte finish than the previous high gloss finishes that we used to see. As always, new electronic helm. Garmin seems to be the order of the day for all manufacturers at the moment, with the integration for the engine integration, joystick control, and the Volvo Penta electronic controls as well. Nice helm position, you can really see out, although I'm one of these people where when I stand up straight, the transom is right in my eye, but standing up here, I've got my head straight out the top of a sliding sunroof that goes all the way back. What a great helm station that you've got to do that. You could probably see there that standing in the helm position here, having my head out is probably the right thing to do, but there's my eye line when I sit down. Inside here we've got the TV hidden in this little raising cabinet here, so you can sit yourself down on the seats at the back here. Hidden in here you've got all the usual cabinetry, fridge in that one, and in the back there, ice maker, should you wish, another fridge, and then the outdoor seating area. And what a beautiful area that is. Notice the sunshade will actually pull back over the whole area as well. Just looking into the master cabin now. A usable sofa this time, but look at the headroom here. Again, this is where I'm liking these newer versions of these boats, the newer and the later models. They really are making sure that the headroom is good. Head here with shower room. Coming back, slightly smaller galley on here. Bear in mind that you've got the galley space up the top as well, fully electric combination oven, and again these large fridges and freezers. And 3 cabin layout on this boat rather than the 2, so we're losing that space, which should be a dinette here, I guess.
Here we go.
I'm here with the boatman Clive Leach. Hi Clive, how are you?
Well, outstanding, but I'm improving, and really good to meet with you here at the Southampton Boat Show. Great time on the Princess stand, who are really good at looking after me. So all is good, and I'll be posting some stuff in the not too near future.
Thank you very much, Clive Leach, the boatman.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Hello. Dying to have a look. We wanted to see last year. Didn't get a chance. You all Dutch crew or?
Yeah, almost all.
Almost all.
Yeah, we've got some German and Polish as well.
Okay, so it's a proper international boat then. Fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, it's a Barquentine with just the front mast square rigged.
Yeah.
It's very good sailor. We sail both for school children.
Yeah.
In the winter, they do their year at school here on board, and in the meantime they go around the Atlantic.
Yeah.
For 6 months, and then in the summer we have a commercial program. We are sometimes in Scotland, Norway, France, depending on what activities there are and when. And then we also do sail training.
Yeah.
In the summer for 18 to 28 years old through Sail Training International. For example, next year there is a race from Le Havre to Aberdeen to Kristiansand in Norway, and then down to Esbjerg in Denmark. And then we go back up to Scotland again.
I think the blog will have to pause there for a moment because we're about to find the secret hide of the whole boat show here. Yes, I'll have 1.5 of those, please, or two of those. Yeah, that's perfect. Oh, you're going to proper Dutch beer. So now you're going to see how a Dutch beer is poured now. Whack it in, smack the top off. So where am I drinking beer? Well, I'll give you a clue. This is Southampton water. That's what's tying us onto the dock. And this is the gorgeous vessel that I'm sitting on. So, it's interesting who you bump into at the Southampton Boat Show. I'm here with Harry.
Hello.
Hello. And, I was only talking about you a couple of days ago because we were testing out the DJI Neo drone.
Oh, yeah.
This is one that I can grab. Unfortunately, the range on it is pretty poor. It's got maybe 100 yards range top, so it probably wouldn't do the cinematic shots it used to do. And I think one of the things that's really humbled me about your channel is, first of all, you started with an old boat, which is now a new boat.
Definitely is, yes. Certainly, I think Trigger's broom is what a lot of people like to describe it as on the comments.
Yeah.
It's been completely rebuilt. I mean, more than once probably.
Yeah,
So,
and your drone shots are just fantastic. I think that one of the things that I found is just the little inserts that you do of the history, just everything you say about the channel. What's been your high point of this going around Britain?
I don't know. I think it's probably the people we meet is what always really makes the videos. But it is amazing, just how much there is to see. Like the slower you go, you always miss stuff because it's just like I could probably do this for the next 10 years and still see new things.
Have you got a pile of painkillers for your back though? Because I can imagine.
Actually, I think it's quite good for the back. It's a good exercise.
Yeah, you get out and you don't sort of kind of. And also, I kind of take the boating now, and my whole boating's changed now, and I tend to have like things like Farley's rusks and things because you've brought us a whole new way of eating, having snacks as you're going around.
Snacks are very important. Yeah, I don't think we would have made it around without the snacks.
You're Breitling Sea at the moment. When you plan to do the last leg?
So, October the 5th, we're going to be coming back up the Thames. That's the plan.
Right. Okay.
For the grand finale into St Catherine's Docks. So.
In a flotilla.
That's the plan. Yeah. Hopefully, I think
just Avon Sea Riders, or
all sorts. I think probably. Yeah. But a lot of sea riders.
I must admit, Breitling Sea is quite interesting because I saw the boats there the other day, just stuck in the entrance. They'd all kind of shallowed out and was very, very silty. So
yeah, very tidal. You need to definitely plan what you're doing. But there's a very nice water taxi service who are always happy to help.
Yeah, there are. Thank you so much.
Well, very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you on the back of this amazing boat, isn't it? It's just fantastic. Thank you. Thank you so much. That's okay. This is the Fairline F-Line F33, which still costs more than my boat, even though it's got good underwater lights. Look at that. They're powerful. You can see the blue in the daytime. So I bet you James spec those, didn't he? Absolutely beautiful layout in the cockpit here. This is a really pretty boat. Now, there's a couple of interesting features of this boat. First of all, what most people don't realise is it's got a side opening door that goes out into the side of the side deck here, so you can step right up. Now there's no guardrail on this because this really is a day stroke weekend boat, but have a look at this. This is built for business. Nice cool box there. I don't know how to open it, but there is a cool box here. Beautiful seating with a table that pops out, and once again we've got the glass cockpit, which is Garmin once again. This is very much like your car or your racing car. All your controls are now on the dashboard, and there's room for two there, but I suppose you could have a third seat should you wish to. Going out on the deck, you go through this side door, along the side rails. Again, we've got this LED inlay, which is bonded to the edge of the hull here, all the way up to the bow, and two wonderful bow cushions. Let's have a look inside. So we step into a cabin, which is more traditional that you'd see with a day boat. Not quite so much headroom, but they drop the floor, so as you can see, I can stand up straight. So all your old-fashioned Superhawks and Sunseekers, which you had to crouch down inside, you don't have to in this boat. Look at this. The LED panels look fantastic. The wood quality is lovely. Let's have a look inside this cupboard here. That's big enough to put a few beers in for the weekend. And a head with a shower. What does make this boat special though is that you've got this berth, but I can't stand up in there. That is very, very low. You've got to crawl in to get there. But doesn't that look comfortable? Don't sit up in the night quickly, because if you do, you're going to bang your head. But what you can do is stand up in this gap in between and take a deep breath, because there is enough room to stand up in between. So I'm just on board the F33 from Fairline. I didn't get any socks, but this looks to be a real bottle of Moët. So I think I'll take this instead of a pair of socks. Is that okay, James? This is the new Fairline Targa 40. What a beautiful boat. I guess this is the thing everybody's talking about, is this drop down wing. And for the size of boat, this is a remarkably good innovation. Let's get on board and have a look. Just a few lift ups here. I suppose you could hide a grill underneath that. A little sink in there. In the cupboards here, space for a fridge. And this wonderful drop down side here. Just great if you want to take a leap of faith straight out into the blue water off the edge there. Fantastic. Side decks are really nice. I really like this blue LED strip along here. That's given me a really good idea. Actually, that fits in there really, really well, doesn't it? Look at that. I really like this seating. I suppose it's something that Fairline started with the Targa 44 some years ago. Where the Targa 44 fell down was only had a single helm seat, so it's really good to see that Fairline are back in class by putting a twin set helm seat together. And again, we're going for this MFD glass bridge Garmin again. If I stand up, I can see out, and I've got a fairly good view over. Well, on the front there, you've got both the seats and a sit-up bench at the front, and a bathing platform, so that's all pretty good. You've got a lot of space to just spend time on this boat and not have to do very much, as well as a glass panel giving light to the space down below. Good to see a matte black finish underneath the helm here, because there's nothing worse than sitting at the helm and having that glare straight on the windscreen. But I've got to say, seated, I'm finding this actually a really naturally good helm seating position. I can see out quite clearly, and bear in mind the nose will raise a little bit. That's not bad. Straight to the master cabin. Lovely big high double here. Beautiful cupboard. This cabinetry is gloss, but it's that light colour, which is really nice. This is a bright and airy cabin. I really like it. AV on the wall. Good thing, TVs have got so much slimmer. And into the heads. Shower stall. Look at that. Complete with a Fairline towel. And somewhere you can floss. I wonder if James can floss in there. I love this texture. This texture is more like a, it's just lovely. And the cushions as well, fantastic. It's a shame that's not full of port and free. Once again, a really practical galley, 2-burner hob. I would say called 2-burner hob. It's electric again. I'm hoping that the fridge is going to be underneath here somewhere, and it is. That's a really sizable big fridge here. Heavy sink, my goodness me, that's heavy. And look at that. That's where you need to hide your glasses, isn't it? Into the mid cabin. Once again, this sofa is really handy. Scissor berths, which are sizable for the size of the boat it is, but again, I have to say, I've got headroom. Now that's the biggest difference I'm finding with new boats at the moment. They are considering the headroom, and we are seeing boats that have got a lot more room inside, especially for taller people, because I think in the past when you had to stoop down and pop your head down and walk around like that, you found you were compromised. This feels like a much bigger boat than it is. Bear in mind that it's a 40-foot boat. It's offering an awful lot for a 40-foot boat. It's punching way above its weight. That'll be.
How is he? Because I've had a 90 before. Yeah.
Tell me about this car.
So it started life as a 2016 one, the last off the line Defender. They're all tailored around a customer, so we stripped this one right down to his requirements. We've galvanised the original chassis. We've then coated it so it doesn't look like a galvanised chassis. He wanted the 6.2 LT1 V8, so it's a General Motors block, General Motors automatic gearbox. Runs about 480 horsepower, not 16, sort of 4.5 seconds.
Wow.
We've got limited slip diffs, peg differentials, upgraded CVs, flanges, shafts, the works under there to make sure it doesn't break anything. Our progressive suspension, our big brakes, 6-pot front, 4-pot rear, so it'll handle, it'll stop, it'll do what it should. But the key thing is that it still has its high-low box, still has diff lock, all the things a Land Rover should have. Built it back up, it's been painted panel by panel in satin into silver, and then custom soft top conversion, so that's from one of our boat manufacturers, splits into 3 pieces, so you've got the bikini, the truck cab, the tonneau element, converted to the series door, so you can lift your door tops off, and your windscreen folds down on there as well. And then trimmed out inside to the customer requirements, a bit of media in there, different audio system, so it literally is the whole package. The coolest things. There's about 800 to 900 man hours gone into building it.
So if you want a fantastic rib and a fantastic thing to tow it with,
got the
this has got to be it, isn't it? this is ultimate. I want this. I don't know why, but suddenly I can see this parked in my driveway. In my 20 miles an hour pedestrian eye, so I think this will just upset the neighbours just nicely. I think this is fantastic.
Absolutely.
Thanks ever so much. Thank you very, very much.
Good to meet you.
Thank you. And just having a pontoon walk now. Sargo, axopar on my port side. Look at the size of the engines on the backs of these things. They give you an idea of how fast these things can actually go. They are incredibly quick and well built and robust boats. A lot of boats you put this sort of size on the back of and you start breaking bits off. These are built to take this sort of power. I've always found Marex be absolutely superb sea boats, but always felt that kind of Scandinavian cramp in them.
Well, now we've got some Scandinavian space.
So I'm just on the Marex here, and look at these, the quality fridges and freezers. This is in a different world, isn't it, quality wise? And this is an owner boat. The guy who bought this boat originally, or the guy who bought this boat, actually spec'd a smaller boat. He spec'd the 37 and ended up seeing this at the Cannes Boat Show and buying this instead. Now this has got a galley up option, but galley up always feels a bit cramped until you couple it with the space that you have here. You could easily seat, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 people or more quite easily around that aft space. And then enclose this with the bar that flips over, the drop down screen, and this whole area closes off. Just looking at the helm here, and this is probably the first helm today I've seen with Raymarine Pro, twin MFDs, glass cockpit again. And just looking at the seats, we've got these bolster seats here, but not only can I sit down and see out the screen, and I love this texture here. This stops glare and it just looks great. It's like a suede effect. I can see out the screen sitting, and standing I have a good view too. The benefit of this is you've got a large side door to go straight out onto the side deck. There's your waste water tap, or your water tap to fill your water tank, and you have this beautiful bow cushion. Again, these lights going through to the lower helm, and typical of Scandinavian boats, the ability to step off the bow and put a bow anchor on as well as a stern anchor. Huge sliding roof, just what you need to turn this boat in from a usable offshore boat into quite a pleasurable afternoon in the sun anchor boat. Going down below decks, we have the mid cabin, which in this boat is a single with a large sofa, but that could also double up as a berth with an opening light as well to get some fresh air in. And we have a second cabin, which is a double on the starboard side. A little bit of a sock sofa. I can stand up at the end here, but I can't stand up in the cabin itself. So what I would have to do is climb underneath. But I like this layout, and I think this is a good layout for a guest, because there actually is quite a lot of headroom once you climb into bed, and that second cabin could potentially be configured for maybe an office or something else underway. Moving forward, we have the heads in black and a shower cubicle as well. It doubles up as a shower cubicle, and an absolutely huge island double in the front. But that's not all. On the port side of the boat, there's another shower cubicle. So not only have you got a large heads compartment in here with a shower and a wet room, you have this shower screen that goes around, so you can actually make this into a dedicated shower cubicle on its own. That's really clever. I quite like that. And that just clips over that clips there. What a clever idea. Again, one of the big benefits of a boat nowadays, look at the headroom. 6'3", and I've got a good 7 or 8 inches above my head, so that's really, really good. Again, I'm liking this finish. Look at the quality of that.
Very nice, isn't it?
Let's have a quick look at what Sealine are offering. The S390, which is kind of like an in-between between the old SC42 and the newer range. The C390, which is the coupe version, and the F430, which started life as the F42. On the other side of the stand, the S and the C335 variants, which are, if you like, the mainstay of their sales fleet at the moment.